All right. Let's go. Let's go. New music dropping Friday. It's called Out the Way. Let's go. We staying out the way. Staying out the way. Yeah. Let me cook. Uh-huh. Hey. Yes, sir. Prioritizing my peace. Smash that like, share button. Let's go. Make sure you subscribe. Let's go. Composed of the drug with the coldest lean. Uh-huh. Mixed with the crowd that don't go with the theme. You know what I mean. Stay out the way. Put your nines up. You know the deal. Uh-huh. I'm back. Yes. 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 You already know. To this day, we still running it. Let's go. Let's go. It's your boy. We chiming in. We making sure everything working. It's your boy Jamal Milton. You know what I mean? And today we got some business to take care of. We're gonna be talking about news. We're gonna be talking about first and foremost this guy, Fat Joe. We gotta discuss this guy because it's getting comical. We gotta discuss Fat Joe, man, because I don't know what he thought. You know what I mean? I don't know what he thought. But you can't come for foundational Black Americans. It's just not gonna happen. We're gonna drop the bomb on you every time. Every time. Every time. So by now, y'all should, unless you've been sleeping under a rock, we should all know what happened with Fat Joe. So let's rewind this. Let's reverse engineer this first before I play this video. Fat Joe decided to come at Lord Jamal on a podcast on Matt Hoffa's podcast and also Foundational Black Americans in reference to, I can't even, it was a reference to some boots. I ain't even gonna hold you. It was a reference to some. Dude was wearing some weird ass boots walking around New York and he got, he got clowned for it. Everybody in the world clowned him. But he decided to come at Lord Jamal and Black people for whatever reason. And he's been going on this campaign trying to tell people that he's Black for whatever reason. But he's only Black for some reason when it comes to the music. But culturally, he's been doing a lot of racist shit. I don't know. So basically what's been happening is, piece by piece, people are starting to expose this guy for who he is truly. The other day, he dropped a video of him on a podcast saying that he robbed 70 Black kids in their gymnasium of their coats while in high school. So not only is he saying that he's Black, but he's saying that he robs Black children. And he was doing that when he was a kid. Now, I'm no like uh mathematician, but I know you're not robbing 70 kids from the Bronx in one clip on any given year without a gun. If you know anything about Bronx, New York, you're not running down on any. Let me tell you something about Bronx schools, PSs, the public schools in the Bronx. The public school in the Bronx is probably one of the most dangerous places to be. No cap. It's one of the most dangerous places to be, especially back in the 80s and the 90s. You wasn't just running around there doing whatever you wanted to do to school children. School children was built different back then. Everybody wasn't carrying a gun. Everybody had hands back then. You come in there talking about, give me this, give me that. You're getting jumped. You're getting fucked up. So hearing this man talk about how he ran down, because remember, he's saying he black, right? He's saying he grew up around nothing but black people. So if that's what you're saying, that means that gymnasium that you rock was the same demographic, nothing but black people, correct? So this is how we could break down lies. You know what I'm saying? This is what happens when trying to be black goes left, because now you got to explain culture. You got to explain how not only did you rob 70 black kids, you got to explain why 70 black mothers and black fathers didn't respond. In the Bronx. This is what happens when you lie. When you lie, you got to create another lie to cover up the old lie. You see what I'm saying? This is what we know about liars. Liars got to continuously lie, and you got to pile on one lie after the next. Please smash that like and emoji button, please. Hit that notifications button. We're going in on this guy today. You cannot lie on black people and think they ain't going to fact check you. Okay? He's saying he went to Morris High School and he robbed them in their gymnasium all of their coats. Now, I posted this online. I posted this on my Instagram, and it just went crazy like wildfire. I think it's at like 11, 12,000 views right now. That shit going crazy. Because everybody knows that is not happening. You know what I'm saying? It sounds ridiculous. It's as ridiculous as it sounds. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, right? All of this stuff that came out about him and the stuff that he said about black people, it's starting to backfire on him now. BET done canceled him. He tried to make it seem like he just walked away and gave it to 2 Chainz, but we all know it happened right in coincidental timing, I must say, right? So BET done canceled him, and now it's looking like the culture of black people in general is canceling this guy. I'm gonna play this clip of him in Chicago, which just happened. This just came out today, of him doing his latest show in Chicago. Let's take a look and see what goes. Shout out to my guy Gotham City. He posts a lot of stuff online on Instagram. Shout out to him if y'all want to follow him. And we've been working closely as well, sharing each other's videos and stuff like that. This is one of the videos he just posted today. Let's check it out. Out of here. Shout out to Gotham Ghetto Gospel, man. Listen. You know, there comes a time when black people, black people we're a funny species. Because, I'll have to say we do a lot of things that's wild crazy, but when it's time to come together, and this time when we make up our mind and we say, listen, we gave you a lot of chances, we gave you a lot of passes, black people know how to get these folks up out of here. That type of display is what we need to be doing on a regular basis when we see people that get super off code and try to use us as a springboard, right? That's the word. They use us as a springboard, right? Everybody's black until it's time to be a nigga. So what you're seeing here is us turning around and saying, listen, bro, we rocked with you for a minute. You know, we made you rich. And now you want to turn around and act like you was just like sunning us the whole time. Because that's really what he's saying in that story when he say, yo, he used to rob black kids in high school and stuff like that. That's really what you're saying. Like niggas in the Bronx is just pussy or something. I don't know. Like, what are you saying? The BX ain't never been like that. The BX had never been no place you could just run up on high school kids and do what you want to do. The high school kids is the gang members. The high school kids is the ones that's really going out here putting in work. Let's keep it a bean. It's the young boys. It ain't the adults in the Bronx. It's the young boys that's in high school that's doing this work. So when you see him saying that, he's just straight up lying. There's really nothing we can. Bro, you're lying. You lying and you trying to play us at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Real recognize real. Anybody that's been remotely close to the streets knows that this is not how this works. Fat Joe. It's just not how it works. You know what I'm saying? So Chicago, which we all know, you know, collectively is super, super hood, right? You're going to get a good response, a good gauge as to what's happening in black culture when you go to Chicago. I think we can fairly say that. You know what I'm saying? So when you see dude getting booed to this capacity in Chicago, just know this is a trickle-down effect. It's a trickle-down. And it's ironic because the song is saying, don't be holding back your love. And they like, bitch, nigga, boom! Boom, bitch. I never seen no shit like this, bro. This is just as bad as Barack Obama when he was walking out at the inauguration, the goddamn Donald Trump. The boos was just as loud. What did you think? We told you niggas, you can't come for us. Period. We run the culture. Period. You come at Lord Jamar, you almost like instantly canceling yourself if you're talking some black shit. You may be able to pop off if we're talking flat earth or some goofy shit, and that's where they're trying to get their kicks off, but you can't talk to us about this black shit. A lot of people don't know. A lot of these conversations and the things and the sit downs that Lord Jamar is we have these private conversations on the phone, no cap. You understand? There's probably no artist in the underground that's closer to Lord Jamar than I am. We had these conversations regularly. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it in the beam with y'all. You know? So a lot of this stuff, when you seen these culture shifts and all that, it's coming straight from myself. Y'all just don't know that. It's coming straight from myself, though. I'm just keeping it beam. We controlling the market. Every conversation piece, everything that you see people saying, you understand me? Like, I'm not even, you know what I mean? I wish I could show my phone right now. I would have to take my screen off so I can show y'all. My goddamn a speed dial list look like your top 5 on everything. You know? But we behind the scenes with it. You know, I'm just now making my appearance back to YouTube because I got so much to say. You know what I mean? So much going on right now. You know, I got to come out here. Culturally, we as a people, we allow black people to talk about black people. Why? Because it's family. You understand? And this is the bigger thing that we have to go over. Okay. Black people, we allow black people to talk about black people, but we will not allow anybody outside of the culture to talk about black people. And no, I didn't hear what Melle Mel said. Fill me in. we do not allow black people, people outside of the culture, to talk about us disrespectfully. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have to understand, like, and let's tap into that. Whatever Melle Mel said, right? We could challenge that too, because the reality is, I was there with Melle Mel was talking to Lord Jamar about culture vultures in hip hop. I was standing right there. We was at the Blue Note in New York City. I was there. Okay. And what was said was, me and Lord Jamar was building at the Blue Note. We was in the green room before we got on stage, and Melle Mel busts in the room. Okay. And when he busts in the room, upset because he wasn't making no bread. It was getting towards the close of the 50th anniversary. This was last year. It was getting towards the close of the 50th anniversary, and a lot of people was making bread that year. I was at all the shows. I did Rock the Bells. All the shows that they was booking Brand Nubian for, Jamar Milton was there. Also, my nigga Locke. This is fact. You know what I'm saying? So, what was happening was a lot of shows was being booked and a lot of money was being made. And Melle Mel was upset because he wasn't getting paid like everybody else was getting paid. You feel me? So he came into the room while we was having a conversation, and he started talking about LL. He started hating on LL pretty much and was like, you know what I mean? Like, take your shirt off, nigga. Like weirdo shit. He was like, take your shirt off, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? I bust y'all, you know what I'm saying? I'll show y'all how Melly do on stage. Right after that is when he started talking about how he could beat Eminem in rapping. You know what I'm saying? So Melle Mel's take is he's looking at names like he gonna try and say Lord Jamar doesn't have as much stake in hip hop as Fat Joe. Why? Because he wasn't running with them fraudulent dudes in hip hop. I'm trying not to curse y'all. It's really hard. I'm trying to clean up my act. I'm trying to clean up the channel because y'all know I got some stuff to say. Y'all know I got some validity to what I'm saying. So, in any case, this is firsthand knowledge. You know, he was trying to make it seem like Lord Jamar doesn't have no pull, and then he right after that started going. He went at, like I said, LL, and then right after that he went at Eminem, and he dropped like the worst song ever, dissed record to Eminem. Like y'all should go check that shit out. There's a million reactions to Melle Mel's song trying to diss Eminem. Like, dudes wasn't even getting like 5 seconds into the song, and they was like, trash. What do you need? Hold on, family. My son here. Hold on. Let me make sure you're good. So, y'all need to go and see this song. Y'all need to after we get off this feed, I want y'all to immediately go and check out the diss record that he supposedly made for Eminem. It's so comical, right? So we got a bunch of old school rappers that saw the 50th anniversary as a means or an opportunity for them to start getting checks again. You know what I'm saying? It was an opportunity for them to come into the game and be recognized for their efforts and the things that they contributed to hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Rightfully so. But the reality is, you know, hip hop is not just what you see on the TV screen. It's a culture. So when y'all see this when y'all see Kendrick Lamar smashing on and got his foot on Drake's neck. You understand what I'm saying? Like y'all seeing it, you know, manifest itself and show you what the culture is really about and who's really in control. It's not always the ones that you see on the TV screen that's in control. The realest niggas ain't always found in the coolest section. I put that in my last album. The realest niggas ain't always found in the coolest section. So the ones who you see that's sometimes even running the show, like if you see them like as I'm not running the show, but the headliner ain't necessarily the mover and the shaker of hip hop. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's always been that like that. It's always been like that. The culture is with the people. And the culture is with specifically black people. You understand what I'm saying? We control this. We've always controlled this from the beginning up until now. Okay. If that's the case, you can go back and reverse engineer and see, okay, culturally, what samples was being used? What samples was being used to create hip hop in the early days? Was it Puerto Rican music or was it black music? Because we all know statistically, we already know this is a historical fact. The number one sampled records in hip hop is James Brown. Historical fact. We don't have to dispute that. That is a historical fact. James Brown was the number one sampled record, especially in old school hip hop. If you know, you know. Okay. So you would have to reverse engineer and show us all the songs that were Puerto Rican that we were sampling to help create the foundations of hip hop. Hip hop started not with just hip hop. It started with the blues. It started with jazz. It started with music from overseas, like you know what I'm saying? Like it didn't start with just hip hop. It started with people going to war. That's where we got the hip hop, the hip hop. That came from soldiers that was going to war, that was involved in hip hop, because when they was doing the hip hop parties early on, the first hip hop, one of the dudes that was running the party was getting ready to go off to war. He was enlisted in the military. So this is how they actually created hip hop. This is not my opinion. This is historical fact. So we're not just finna let somebody just come up in here who is we invited into the home, but it's clearly an outsider coming and just take shit over. You know what I'm saying? You give somebody a rope and then they think they're a cowboy. It just is what it is. They think they're a cowboy. Until you see a real cowboy, he blow your head off. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, the showdown has begun. And now black people are starting to speak up, because we're not just finna let you come in here and culture vulture off of our stuff. Y'all been doing it for too long. It's not that we don't love y'all. We're not trying to start nothing, like, you know what I'm saying? We're not trying to start nothing crazy. We're just not going to let you culture vulture and take away from us everything that we build. Anytime we build something, here come another culture trying to yap off of it. We let the Asians rock with it. They came in, they started breakdancing too. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We let everybody rock out. Everybody hit me up because, you know, the Joey responded yesterday too. We're going to talk about that. Joey Badass responded to Daylight. So we got to talk about that too. Hip hop is up right now. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know, you know, Jamal Milton's in the middle of all of this. I got my hands in all of this. I'm speaking to everybody. You know what I mean? No ego, but with your boy tapped in, I've been putting in work, a lot of this work over the course of these years. You know what I'm saying? So I got a lot to say about it. And, you know, you're going to get a real valid a valid viewpoint as to what's going on in hip hop, a real good gauge, so that y'all ain't being fooled out here. No foolish propaganda no more. You can't fool nobody no more and create, you know, these false narratives and think you're going to keep getting away with it in hip hop. So with Fat Joe, with this situation, him coming at, he thought that he was just coming at Lord Jamar, and he didn't know who the FBA was. If you black, you would know who the FBA was. It's really that simple. If you in tune with black culture, you would know that it's not foundational black authority and that it's foundational black Americans. You would know that. And you wouldn't try, and you would know their power. You would know that trying to disrespect them is just not a good idea. It's not a good idea. Since 2020, black culture, conscious culture, you know, we tapped in and we can see what's going on. We see who the culture vultures are, and we know how to get rid of them if we need to. But you know, by nature, black people are not like that. By nature, we're not just trying to kick everybody out of our culture. You know, we gave birth to all of these different cultures. We gave birth to every race there is. So it's like family. That's why we treat everybody like that. But you know, we get treated the worst, and that's what happens in family. You know what I'm saying? People treat their family the absolute worst, but they treat outsiders, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like they golden. And this is what you're seeing here manifest. But anytime them outsiders get to the point where now they think that they can step into our family and try to disrupt or take over, that's when we start stepping up and start changing things, you know, in the community culturally, you know, and hip hop is a result of that. So this whole Fat Joe situation is karmatic. It's completely karmatic. You know, when you put dirt out into the universe, and you talk shit about people and it's not true, just understand it's going to come back to you. If you're starting to spread lies, people are going to start to delve into your history. They're going to start to delve into who you are, and you will get exposed. Cat Williams said it best. This is the year of exposure. It's the year of exposure. So we'll give you a pass for a little while, but then after a while, it's like, yo, all right, now you're done. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we had to do to this guy. And people laughed in the beginning. Remember, some people had pushback because, you know, they get caught up in the allure of the gold chains and who has more money and stuff like that. If you notice, right, when he said what he said about foundational Black Americans and Lord Jamar, his next post on Instagram, you see him leaning on a Maybach in the front, like boom, 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 like the money is what makes you of value. Bro, get the fuck out of here. Black people been broke collectively our whole lives. Like, we're not impressed by anybody with money. First, matter of fact, when a person comes around claiming they Black and they got a whole lot of money, the first thing we're looking at is, bro, you a plate. You a plate. Don't be coming around here flashing nothing. You know, talk to Cameron and these dudes when they got shot up in the hood trying to pull up to the projects in a Lamborghini. You a plate. You a whole plate. You know what I'm saying? And you know who gonna do it? Them young boys in high school. Holla at your boy. Stop me when I'm lying. Them young boys is pulling up on you. You a straight up plate. Food. See what I'm saying? So when he did that, it shows like he thinks that he can hide behind his money and say whatever he want to say about Black people. And because he have money, he going to dangle it like a carrot and we just going to follow behind him like the Pied Piper or some shit. You feel what I'm saying? That's what they think. People who are outside of the culture think that that's what they can do. All they got to do is flash some paper, and he's a cool guy because he flashed some paper. You see? And you keep falling for that, you're going to see what it is. Why do you think when I come on this feed, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't see me doing a whole lot of flashing. I don't do that because I know the repercussions, the consequences of that throughout my community. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't got it like that. So you can't do that. You can't flash that stuff in front of people. Niggas is hungry out here. You see what I'm saying? They be like, yo, Jamal, you need to clean up, make it look like this. And they're like, nah, I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression about who I am and what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like I don't get up and I don't wash my ass every day, but I ain't trying to brush this shit up to where the point is like I'm looking extravagant and luxurious out here. Nah, even if I had it, I'm not doing that. Not in front of a bunch of people that I'm trying to help build up. Why would you do that? That's laughing in people's faces. And then you're going to turn around and talk about how back in the day you used to rob these niggas? For real? For real. Why you even bringing that up? Why are you even saying that example? Why are you saying that? Especially when you say you come from that culture and you claim to love these people. But you pushing fucking 50 and you talking about how you used to rob these niggas. All right. We'll let you live for a little while. You know what I'm saying? We'll let you live for a little while. But anyway, so culturally, Black people have gotten to a space where we're not, and collectively, we're not going to tolerate disrespect. We're not going to tolerate anybody trying to come at us. Y'all see what happened in 2020 when we turned this bitch up and we had the whole country, you know, riding for George Floyd, the whole 9 yards. You know, our history has gotten us to a place now where we're a lot more mature in our stance into how we see things. Okay. Even the situation with Donald Trump and people going back and forth, boom, boom, boom. Black people aren't even riled up in race no more. Like Cat Williams said, race is not where you draw the line. You know what I'm saying? As to how you're going to make your decisions. Why? You know why we're not riled up in that anymore? Because too many times white supremacist society has used race to get us out of our bag and trick us out of our spot. And we caught on to it. So now, okay, listen, how many of y'all go to work every day and you work for your racist boss and you do that every single day? The only thing that you worried about is, listen, I'm going to do my work and you better make sure I got my paycheck. If not, I'm running down your motherfucking neck. Right? Right? You go and you work for your boss, and as long as my paycheck is okay, bro, I'm not going to strangle you. I won't choke you out, but let you come short at Christmas. Let them short you some hours, huh? When you know you gotta pay for something. Let them short you some hours right before it's time to pay your rent. Then that racist boss, he might as well just, I don't know, not come to work that day because it's all the way up and he knows it. Right? So, you know, we not getting tricked out of our bag no more by people saying racist things against us. We had to deal with that our whole lives growing up. And this generation has now done this many, many times. So we've smartened up. We've smartened up not to let people throw racist things at us and let it trick us out of our spot. See what I'm saying? So we could segue into the Donald Trump thing right now too. We're not going to let racism trick us out of our spot of success at the end of the day. Now we're in a space where we understand that we need to control things. We need to be the bosses of what it is that we're doing. You understand? Donald Trump kind of exposed that, but you know, black people are starting to wake up and say, yo, we need to be in positions of power, not just being the ones that's working, not just being the employees, but being the employers. Because then we don't have to worry about racism. We running the show, right? So, you know, we're educating ourselves more and realizing, hey, listen, you know, we're better than this. We're better than this. You know, Fat Joe, he tried to use race by mentioning the foundational Black Americans as being broke niggas with the hard ER on it. He separated himself first from Black people. This is the part that y'all not understanding. He first separated himself from Black people and then tried to play Black people and continue to do it on other platforms, talking about how he ran down on Black people and took their coats. Like I said, there ain't no Black mother in the world. Back then, in the 80s and 90s, not only that, he said they took their coats and their Walkmans. Let's be clear here, family. A Walkman in the 80s and the 90s was like a PlayStation 5. Stop me when I'm lying. If anybody grew up in the 80s and the 90s, if you had a Sony Walkman, remember that Sony Walkman? It was yellow, like boom. That shit was like a PlayStation 5. You understand? Like, yeah, he was hella proud too about saying what he did. You know what I'm saying? You not robbing. If my mama bought me a Walkman and I came home without it, it is up. My mama putting her jacket on, her keys, and my mom was a proud Christian woman. My mom is putting on her jacket, grabbing her keys, and we're going to the school to talk to any and everybody who's involved. Stop playing with me, Fat Joe. You saying you did that to 70 kids? Benita said, and waterproof. Facts, it was waterproof. It was up. It was the only way we could listen to music back then. We were showing up to school with folders of CDs and and boxes of cassettes if we had. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wasn't just taking that from nobody because that was all we had. Bro, Nintendo wasn't even popping like that yet. You're not just doing that. It's like, yo, everybody didn't have it. So, you know, if you had new sneakers or if you had a new coat or whatever it was, you just was not letting nobody take that off your hands like that without a fight. You dig what I'm saying? It's like literally somebody stealing your car when you're a kid in the 80s. Facts. You're going to do whatever you got to do to run down on your shit. You're not letting nobody just do that. So when he say he walk into a gymnasium talking about, yo, I just ran down on 70 Black kids. 7 Black kids is a stretch. 7 Black kids is a stretch in the Bronx, bro. You're not doing that in Long Island. You're not doing that in Long Island. You wasn't doing that in Roosevelt, New York. You understand? We had metal detectors coming into the school and all of that. Like, you was not doing that in no Black hood. Maybe a Spanish hood. What hood is you doing that? You see what I'm saying? It takes real ones to come up and stand up and be like, what are you talking about? You see what I'm saying? Because the energy don't reflect reality. You know what I'm saying? You're talking real good, but you know what I'm saying? The energy you're giving off is so unfamiliar. I don't feel you. Shout out Jay Elect. It's so unfamiliar. Because if it's one thing, you know, I didn't grow up the super tough kid. I had crazy hands. Niggas know Jamal Milton could fight. But one thing about Jamal Milton, I grew up poor as fuck, and I know what poverty sound like and feel like. That shit is disrespectful. It's disrespectful. You see what I'm saying? And you talking about the wolves, and you a whole plate. You a whole plate. Ty Common said, not happening nowhere. You got siblings, cousins. Come on, bro. What? You're getting jumped. You're getting poked up. All of that. Stomped out. In the 80s and 90s, everybody, this is what we was doing, yo. Meet me at the park. Meet me at the flagpole after school. Or if you really are real right and you ready to get up out of here anyway, I'm going to catch you in class. I'm going to catch you at the gym. I'm going to catch you in gym. I'm going to catch you wherever it is. It's up, my guy. It's never happening like that, the way that he just said that shit. What? You robbing 70 black kids in one clip. Not only that, let's go on. We didn't even finish the story. Dude said he not only robbed them, but he made them carry the shit out to the fucking car because he couldn't carry it all to the car. So you not only just robbed them, but you son them too as well. You just doged 70 black children? For real? Bro. You a whole clown. Facts. Salute to the FBA. Salute to Tariq Nasheed. Salute to the conscious community, the black conscious community. Salute to them. The ones that's been putting in work that don't tolerate no bullshit from anybody on the outside, especially in the music industry, in the commercial music world. Like, I came into the music industry because I wanted to bridge the two. I wanted to bridge the underground and the conscious community with the commercial world. That was my only objective, my only play. Because I said, yo, we're listening to the radio and we're hearing the same 10 songs every single day. There's a monopoly on what we're allowed to hear. Fat Joe was a part of that regime for a little bit, running with Khaled and all these guys and the Drakes and all of that. These guys was literally, now you see the lawsuits popping up, they was literally paying for these plays. Major key. We're now finding out, y'all now realizing, and we were saying it, they've been paying for these plays. And it was major labels that was dumping money to DJs and to bloggers to get these plays going, to Spotify and to the streaming services, to the DSPs. They was dropping bags off to these people. You see? And now you're seeing Drake, because he got demolished by the culture. Now he wants to double back and be like, oh, by the way, you know, they be cheating. I know they wasn't cheating for me, but they be cheating. You know what I'm saying? Now he want to blow everybody's spot up. That's what happened when niggas get caught out there, when you got the wrong ones doing the dirt with you. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So now we done blew it all up. We don't blew it all up. Everybody knows that everybody who was hot for like the past 10 to 20 years was getting, was the machine was helping them to be hot, but the people wasn't necessarily feeling them like that. You knew it when you turned on the radio. Like, what is this bullshit? And the next thing you know, you singing the song because they were programming you. They just kept playing the song over and over and over, even if you didn't want to hear that song. There's 40,000 songs uploaded per day, family, to digital streaming services. 40,000. You think they all sound like that? There's good music being uploaded every freaking day. Every day. Okay? So with all of these songs being uploaded today, why are we only hearing the same 10? Obviously, somebody's getting the bag, because if they wasn't getting the bag, just moral and ethical code and what you want to hear, no person in the world wants to hear the same 10 songs all day. Not even the DJ, especially not the DJ. He's exposed to so much music. You hearing the same niggas because the DJ is being played, and the DJ is going to take taking care of his family and not hearing his wife's mouth over playing what he want to hear any day. Just think. You see what I'm saying? So this whole situation is now, it's blowing up a bigger issue here. It's blowing up a bigger thing that has been going on, which is black people culture, black culture has been siphoned off of for too long, especially in terms of entertainment, fashion, music, sports, Huh? You go on the football field, there's a whole field full of black folks banging on each other, you know, damn near killing each other on the field, but you got one white quarterback who's in control of it all, and he's usually the guy that gets the MVP at the end. Stop me when I'm lying. Stop me when I'm lying. They will bring in a dude who never played basketball, a white dude, to come in and coach all of these black dudes instead of going straight. Just look at Golden State. The Golden State Warriors became who they was under Jackson. Under Jackson. Mark Jackson, right? And Mark Jackson made Steph Curry. Once Steph Curry became the guy, they got Mark Jackson out of there. Stop me when I'm lying. And then they put Steve Kerr in there, and all of a sudden now they winning championships. And now people are talking about how scripted the NBA is. You know what I'm saying? We already knew the NFL was scripted. That shit is like WWE. But now they're talking about the NBA and how scripted it is. You see what I'm saying? Like, everything is by design. And don't think that it ain't a real thing. Like, when y'all start seeing these things and you were like, well, that looks like that's a crazy coincidence. It's not coincidental. You know? And then they start calling you conspiracy theorists and they start going through that lane. You know what I'm saying? Let me turn this light. You know, they start doing those things. So you got to be mindful of that. Don't get caught up in the BS when they start doing that and started giving you the guilt trip. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know what you're talking about when you're seeing it right in your face. These people will piss on you and tell you that it's raining. I promise you. To this day. To this day, nothing has changed. They've been doing this the same thing over and over. And then they will bring other cultures in, right? Give them a pass. Because black people foundationally in the Constitution, you know, they had to create amendments to even make us a human being. Let's be real here. No other culture had to go through this, right? So what they'll do is they'll bring other cultures in, right? This is why immigration was such an issue in this particular election. They'll bring other people in to drown you out as black people, to drown your voice out. You see, when you start to mobilize, they were like, oh, okay, they'll bring other people in and give them the things that you should be getting. Foundationally, they'll give it to them because what they want to do is they want to make sure that you get drowned out and you never, ever get heard. That is a fact.
Can I have food now?
1 second.
Can I have food now?
Yeah, give me 5 more minutes. I'll make you some eggs, okay? You understand what I'm saying? So we have to be mindful of this when we see this. We have to be vocal when we see this. At the end of the day, Fat Joe came out here talking crazy. And we ended them. We ended them. Me and Lord Jamar sat back. We had conversations. And we said, yo, this dude really played himself. So now we don't even have to do nothing. Like, he ended himself. All we got to do is expose the things that we've been holding back. You ever been doing a favor for somebody by not showing the truth about somebody, like Kendrick said? You ever do that? You ever hold on to some information that you know about somebody simply because you just don't want to destroy them? You understand? That's what he did. Don't tell no lies about me, and I won't say the truths about you. Big up Kendrick for that line. That bar was crazy because it's real, and we do it every day. There's people that we just want to show love to because we're good people. We got souls, and we got spirits, and we don't want to just, you know, play nobody. So what we do is we sit back, and we watch their actions, and then we might even cover up for them. We might even cover up for them and be like, you know what I mean? Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? That's little bro, like, hold bro down, you know what I'm saying? Like, that we do that. And then after a while, you know what I'm saying? Shout out, yeah, definitely send a super chat if y'all want. You know what I mean? Definitely donate if y'all getting some information. Y'all getting background information that y'all not going to get from everybody else. I promise you that. So hold your boy down or hit me in the Cash App. So you understand? We got a lot of people in the feed today. I'm going to stop the show for a second. If y'all can, hit that like button, smash that like button. Your boy's making a comeback on YouTube. And I'm about to drop some stuff. I've been quiet for a long time. I've been gone for like 6 years. You know what I'm saying? I don't be doing lives like that. I've been gone for like 6 years. But I felt like, you know, it's time. It's time for me to come back and start showing y'all what's going on. So if y'all can, if y'all enjoying the show and y'all getting some good information, please hit the like button, smash those emojis, put them fire emojis in there, hit the notifications, subscribe, whatever YouTube does. You know what I'm saying? I'm still new to this stuff too myself. You know what I'm saying? It's been a while, so I don't know what they got. But smash everything you're supposed to smash right now. Show that love. You know what I'm saying? Facts. Game over. Game over. So now, you know, seeing these things, you know, happen like this, we have to be diligent as a people when we see these things happen, and we have to be vocal, and we got to move as a unit, You know what I'm saying? When we see stuff like this happen, you know, there's a time where you just got to be on code. Like they say, you just got to stay on code. And say, yo, bro, what you just did, you know, we could cancel you for that. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to get up out of here. We've watched this happen too many times. And like I said, we cover up for other people, right? And that goes for any race that's coming against black people. We covered up for every single race, whether you white, whether you Spanish, don't matter. Asian, we covered up. We allow Asians to take breakdancing to a whole nother level. We let them rock out and we showed them love, brought them into the parties. And you know what I'm saying? We let the Asians rock out. We watched y'all disrespect us at the Olympics with a culture that we created, breakdancing. We watched y'all disrespect us and put that Australian white lady up there. We watched y'all disrespect us over and over again. Now it's to the point where we like, nah, we can't do it no more because we letting y'all do this, we're losing the entire culture. We don't even have grasp on the culture. So now we have to take the culture back. You know what I'm saying? How do you you got to take your power back sometimes, family. And that's what you're seeing right here. We're like, you know what? We gave you the power, let you rock out for a little minute. Now we got to take the power back. You feel what I'm saying? We got to take the power back. You know what I mean? For real. Because listen, black people, we are the most powerful people on the planet. We are the most powerful people on the planet if we would just rise up and get up from the table. You know what I'm saying? If we just get up from the table and say, yo, this is us, we run this, it changes things. It changes things. It shows our power. And this was one of those situations. So me and Lord Jamar, when we heard him saying what he was saying, we was like, yo, let's just chill. You know what I'm saying? And all we got to do is push and just show scenarios. They're going to piece the piece together because now the question is on the table. Are you really black? Are you really black? Let's dig up some interviews and just pick this shit apart because we know what black feel like. We know what it looked like. We know what it sounded, tastes like. This ain't it. This ain't it to this day. So, you know, with Fat Joe, you know, black is so and I want to make sure that I package this right. Blackness just ain't bloodline too. Okay. It ain't just bloodline. It's also the things that you do culturally and politically. Okay. We can define all of that as blackness. All of those things, all of those different categories is in there. So what he was trying to do was he tried to rewrite history as to what he was about culturally, you know what I'm saying, and socially to make it seem like he was black. There are people who are in the black community who do all the things that black people do, but you still ain't black. And I don't know what's the obsession with people wanting, actually I do, but they want to be black so bad. They want to be black so bad. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, you don't have to do that. You could just chill and be yourself and we'll accept you as who you are. You know what I'm saying? As a white person who comes around the black community, a Puerto Rican who lives within the black community. It's not a problem for us because we're not hating. You see? We're not hating. Do our Alicia for the $10 support. But Fat Joe, he took it to another, he took it to another space. You know what I'm saying? We took it to another space. So we had to do something about that. You know, me and Lord Jamar, we had to, you know, expose that. I made sure that I said my piece so that my following knows where I stand on this. You know what I'm saying? There are people who I accept in the black community that ain't black, you know what I'm saying? But I would accept them because culturally, the way that they move and the way that they act and the respect that they have for the black community, they're allowed to move around us. You know what I'm saying? But then there are some who are like, they're like moles. They're like, it's almost like they're COINTELPRO. They're like plants, you know? And if you don't think that this white supremacist society doesn't recognize who the plants are and who the boule is, let me tell you something. There are some black people who are black by skin, right? And black by blood, but they're not black by culture. We call them coons. We call them coons, right? So you're not going to let even black people who are black by blood disrespect black culture. We're not letting you do that. We're not letting you do that. You see? So he's finished. It's not just about even your blood. It's culture, All of that is a part of it. Politics, all of that is a part of it. It's almost like a gauge. It's a gauge of all different things that make you that. You see? So we had to end that. Moving on from that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of things that's going on in hip hop, you know, and the bigger issue that we see that's happening in hip hop is really what this discussion is about, and what's happening within the Black community. What we do in our music reflects what's going on in real life. Okay, it's not vice versa. I know a lot of people like to blame the crime and all these different things on hip hop music, but it's vice versa. You know, it's the art that is reflecting reality. And as long as we maintain that premise like we do everything else, we're gonna be okay when it comes to hip hop, because we don't treat hip hop the same way we treat movies. Like I said, when Arnold Schwarzenegger comes in and he's shooting up 40,000 dudes, it's okay for him to do that, and we cheer it on. But when Black people are doing it, it's like, oh, this is black on black crime. We can't do this, and da 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 da. We can't separate the art, you know, from reality. Even in science fiction films, we can't separate it. You know what I'm saying? So we have to learn how to do that when it comes to art. You know, but what the system did was they allowed a lot of people who were really killing people in the streets to become artists. You see what I'm saying? To become artists. And these young kids coming up didn't know the difference, because there was nothing to counterweight what the difference between art and reality is supposed to look like in our culture. You go to other cultures, white cultures, European cultures, right? You go to their art shows and stuff like that. When's the last art show that you've seen in the hood? When's the last art show, like upscale art show that you've seen in the hood so people can separate reality? Remember how we used to laugh in the fashion shows and we see them dress weird, right? They look at it as it's an art. Fashion is an art. So they can separate the two, like, oh, okay, this is not something that we would wear on the street. This is art, you know? But some people who don't understand it is like, nobody would ever wear that. This is so stupid. This is so foolish. Am I bugging? Right? Because people who are attached to the culture know the difference. But if you don't know, you know, you just look at it as like, oh, this is the reason why people dress weird. Like, no, that's not the reason why people dress weird. People dress weird, and it's the reason why it's in the show. You ask backwards. You see what I'm saying? So we're figuring it out. Somebody said the Italian, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Whatever culture that you want to talk, it's all the same thing. We as a people have to start waking up. You know, it's not that, you know what? Let me rephrase that. We as a people, because we're in real time, have woken up. And now you're starting to see the remnants of that. You're starting to see the remnants of people who just get it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's not, you can't write it down in black and white like the way other cultures do. It's like we got a black person handbook type thing going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what the requirements are for you to be black. In order for you to be black, you know what I'm saying? You have to have this percentage of blood in you, and you have to be from this place, and Blackness is a culture, family. Blackness is not a land. That part, you see, they say, oh yeah, in order to be black, you have to be African. Why don't you just say African? Why are you saying black? Because it's a specific culture that's attached to that. There are some Africans who are not black. Let's talk about it. Because in order to be black, you had to go through a specific set of events in your history. Specific set of events that made you a black person here in America. We're talking about systemic racism, slavery, things that you had to deal with that gave you that culture. This is why black culture is different from what we even might say West Indian culture. They were dropped in a different space. They wasn't dropped here in America. They had a different type of blackness to them. It's not the same blackness. Yes, is it black? Yes, but it's different. It's not the same. They got a different language. They got a flag that they wave, a different flag, different culture. They wear different shit. They listen to different music. They have a different accent. Because their blackness is not the same blackness as American blackness. They wave their flag proudly. And guess what? From island to island, they're not even the same. Bajans ain't the same as Jamaicans, and they'll tell you that. Don't you dare get us confused. Don't you dare get them confused. So it's levels to this. It's levels to this. Somebody, Nostalgia just said it real good. A shared experience and mentality. A shared experience and mentality, right? So that's one, and that's one of the pieces. That's one of the brackets, right? Aside from where you come from, if you come from African descent, so on and so forth. You feel what I'm saying? So we let a lot of folks live. You know what I'm saying? But we have to redefine, or actually just stand on business. We got to stand on business. Blackness has already defined itself. So all we need to do is just stand on business. We know what it looks like. We know what it feels like. And the people from that particular culture can decide whether or not they want this person within the community. And guess what? At any given time, here's the kicker here. At any given time, that pass can be taken away. Don't matter who you are. Don't matter who you are, because black doesn't have a land. Black doesn't have a land. Like when somebody say they Chinese, where they from? China. Somebody say they Italian, where they from? Italy. No matter, you know what I mean? Blackness ain't got no land because it's a culture. It's more like an idea, a shared idea. It ain't even really real. If we really want to get down to it, it ain't even really real. You see what I'm saying? We describe people by the land masses that they come from in 2000, in 2025. You know what I'm saying? We label people by the land masses that they come from, but realistically, we know that blackness is not real. Deep down, we know that. Okay? It's not an actual ethnicity. Okay? So once you figure out where you from, even as a black American, once you figure out where you from, you can even relinquish the title of being black if you wanted to. You can relinquish the title. 24 Goldskin said, sounds good until we look up black in the dictionary. That's right. It's a diss. We are definitely different, but we need a better name. If we keep the name, we need to get the definitions changed in Webster's, right? Now, that is true. If you are here in America, blackness has a certain meaning. Specifically here in America, it's very important because here in America is tied into the Constitution as to how they define blackness. See? That's major key because it actually controls the laws and the bylaws and the things that we do here in America. In other countries, not so much. But in America, if you are black, you are literally labeled and you are categorized in a specific way and you are treated in a specific way. How, for example, Indian people. How many Indian people do you see getting beat up by police in the streets? I'll wait. That's right. They will not be changing the meaning of blackness. How many times have you seen an Indian person get beat up by the police? Some people would consider Indian people black. Why they're not getting beat up and shot in the street by the police? Because it's not the same. They're not the same black people. There's a specific type of black person that they're talking about went through a specific set of events here in America. That's the black people that we're talking about. We're not talking about even black Puerto Ricans. No, we're talking a specific group of people here of African descent that went through a specific set of circumstances. And what happens is when it's time for us to get our just due, because they know they owe us a lot of different people try to jump into it and siphon off of what's owed to us. Real shit. What did they call them? The new name they have for these individuals is called tethers. They're called tethers. See what I'm saying? I don't like using the word, but it is something that we do need to define that. Who are the people that aren't of African descent that try to benefit off of black people's plight? Because they real and they out here and they been eating off of our plate for a long time. I would say Fat Joe is one of those guys on everything. On everything. It's in everything. It's the way that he talk, the way that he move, and the way that he treat people. You see what I'm saying? You dress like a black person, right? You know how to talk with the accent. What you saying is something that a black person would say. You just going through the motions, bro. And we've seen that before. We know what wiggers look like. You know what I mean? We know what wiggers look like, right? So at the end of the day, I'm coming up on my hour. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple seconds left for my hour. I'm going to hit y'all up, you know what I'm saying, as much as I can on this YouTube. If you haven't, smash the button, smash the fire button, the like button, the share button, the notifications button, the subscriptions button, hit all the buttons down there. Your boy is back, and we're talking real things, okay? When I come back, we're gonna be talking these rat beefs. We're gonna be talking Joey Badass and the West Coast, Daylight. Okay, I got some direct intel with that. Listen, man, it's up. It's up. Your boy's back. There's nothing they could do about it. We don't clear the smoke now, especially in the conscious community. We don't clear the smoke, all the scam artists and the grifters. You know what I mean? We had to shake down a couple of people. The Brother Polites, we had to get them out of here. The Billy Carsons, we had to get them out of here. We had to show the real people who's really out here doing the work. And anybody else, we had to get them the hell up out of here. It just is what it is. Jamal Milton had to run down on a lot of people over the last couple of years through this internet thing over the last 6 years. But now it's time to start saying my piece. So now y'all can see exactly why things happen the way that they happen and what's going on. You know what I mean? I'm going to do this last quote right here. It says, hey, Puerto Rican, can you show me an FBA, your version of Michael Jackson, Prince, James Brown, Marvin Gaye, Whitney Houston, Patti LaBelle, Aretha Franklin, The Temptations, New Edition, Jodeci, After 7. Listen, we're not trying to sow no discord either. We just keep it in a bean. You know what I'm saying? We just keep it in a bean. You cannot distort the historical record and then get mad at the people when they come back and try to correct it. You know what I'm saying? That's all black people's doing. We're like, yo, we got to correct the historical record because they got it wrong. And if we allow them to continue to do this, it's really going to hurt us as a people. So with that being said, Friday, I got a new record dropping. It's called Out the Way. I'm going to close out with that. And that's what it is. I love y'all. May the divine force of me, the divine force of you, may you manifest every heart's desire. Shout out to all my peoples. And we're going to jam off this record. It's called Out the Way. Let's go.